Good morning, everyone. I left my wallet on the table, stepped out briefly, came back, found the money gone and the camera missing. It looks like the thief noticed the home camera and broke it. I will check whether any data can still be recovered. First, I check the memory card slot, hoping to recover footage for the police. Oh no, the memory card is gone too. But I do not want to give up yet. This camera has Wi-Fi, so I will inspect it more carefully. After opening it, I see the main camera board. It controls power, Wi-Fi, image processing, and motor movement. I will remove it first. Has your home ever had a break-in? This is the first time it has happened in my neighborhood, and honestly, it worries me. After this, I may need to place more cameras in hidden spots. One camera in an easy-to-see place is not enough. Now I check the main board. At first glance, I do not see any clear burn marks, but the parts are quite old. Maybe this camera has simply been used for too many years. I will set it aside for now. This is the rotating camera head. Inside it are the lens, image sensor, infrared lights and tilt motor. Since I already opened the camera, I will inspect each part. To be honest, this is my first time trying to repair a camera like this. This is a small stepper motor with gears, removed from the camera's rotating section. Next is the rotating Wi-Fi camera eye assembly. It captures images through the lens and supports night vision with infrared lights. I will keep taking it apart and check what useful parts are inside. This is the small rear board behind the camera eye. It usually connects signal cables, infrared lights, and control wires back to the main board. And this is the lens and infrared light assembly. This part helps the camera capture images and see better in the dark. I will remove it and check it more closely. At first glance, I do not see any clear problem here. This board also looks fine. Its CMOS sensor receives light and sends image signals to the main board. This is the camera lens, placed in front of the CMOS sensor. It gathers light and forms an image on the sensor. I also found a small laser module today. I was just thinking about using it for a useful DIY idea, and then this theft happened. Honestly, that is frustrating. Maybe I can combine this laser module with some parts from the broken camera and turn this bad situation into something useful. Stay with me a little longer. I think I have an idea. Now I will compare this laser module with the parts I removed from the broken camera and see which one fits best. This part seems to fit quite well. I will cut off the signal wire and keep the part I need for today's idea. First, I use a short piece of black heat shrink tubing to make it look cleaner and fit the part better. I place the laser module inside the heat shrink tube so the two parts can hold together more firmly. It looks fairly solid now, and the laser module should not slip out easily. Next, I need something to mount it on. I already have a small piece of wood on the table, so I will reuse it. Now the first small frame of today's idea is ready. Next, I will move to the tiny control parts below. Here I have a 3-leg BC547C transistor. I will prepare this part first, so it will be easier to connect the next components. This is a 2.2 kilo ohm resistor. It helps limit current in a small circuit branch. I will solder it to one transistor leg. Next is an LDR, a light-dependent resistor. I will solder it to one leg of the transistor and the 2.2 kilo ohm resistor. The small connections are starting to form now. This is a small 2-leg LED. I will also add it to this group of components. And here is the last component in this small group. Do you know what it is? I will not say it yet, because the most interesting part is coming soon. Next comes the power part, a 9-volt battery clip. I plan to use a 9-volt battery for this test. Together with it, I have a small on-off push button. I will solder the positive wire from the battery clip to this button first. Now I connect the battery and switch section to the main component group. That part is done. Now I check everything again to see if anything needs trimming. Some unused component legs are still sticking out, so I will cut them shorter with pliers. I check it one more time. This project uses many small parts, so I need to be careful. One wrong leg can change the whole result. It seems fine now. I place it on a small wooden base and fix it with hot glue. At this point, can you guess what today's idea is for? The World Cup has been going on these days, and honestly, I enjoy watching soccer. But staying up late can really disturb your daily routine. Earlier, I only went out to buy some food and drinks for watching the matches with a few neighbours. I forgot to lock the door. Then I remembered my wallet was still at home, came back and almost $900 was gone. Now I will power this small circuit with a 9-volt battery and see if it works the way I expect. This is only one part of the device, so I will test each section before combining everything. Back to the laser module on its base. I will use a zip tie to hold the module switch in the on position so the laser beam stays steady. When working with a laser, never point it at anyone's eyes. Now it is time for the test. Before testing, I will turn off the lights so the device is easier to observe. Do you understand how it works? The laser shines onto the LDR, the light-dependent resistor. When the beam reaches it, the device stays quiet and the LED stays off. But when something blocks the beam, the buzzer sounds and the LED turns on. That sound part is the mini electronic buzzer I did not reveal earlier. It seems to work quite well for the idea. It is getting late, so I will install it in a suitable spot as an extra warning layer in case someone passes through. After that, I still need to prepare some food and drinks and watch soccer with a few friends. What do you think about this project? Leave a comment and let me know.